in the wake of several high-profile mass shootings, including at Annunciation Catholic Church. You'll hear from one of the first responders at Annunciation on August 27th. Also, it's day 2 of the government shutdown, and we're seeing a lot of impacts in Minnesota, especially on farms. And it takes a lot for an entire NFL, the staff and more, to play 2 international games back-to-back. So we're talking with a man who is in charge of making sure all the Vikings players are getting their meals. That's important. Got to fuel up for the game. Plus later, it's the oldest cemetery in Minneapolis, and it is full of stories waiting to be told. We're going to talk about the Pioneers and Soldiers Cemetery, how you can hear the untold stories and the tales of the city's early settlers and veterans this weekend. They're doing some really neat tours right now with the fall color, and then just the original immigrants and really the people who built the city are all buried there.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that interview come. You okay?
Are we talking about like ghost stuff?
I think there's some ghost stories.
You're gonna see.
I'm out.
Yeah. Could you watch scary movies as a kid?
No.
What? Oh,
no way. I watched, my sister babysat, and I watched a movie called Killdozer, where a meteorite comes from outer space and hits a bulldozer and it becomes a killer bulldozer.
What?
I know, right? And ever since then, the only other one I watched was Poltergeist, and I made it until the doll came out from under the bed, and I was out.
No, you're like, I'm out.
Yeah.
That's it.
No way. You guys like horror movies?
Oh, I used to love them. Like, I would laugh at people. My friends thought I was kind of weird because I would seriously be laughing at
Well, some
movies.
of them are so campy, the way they're
like,
filmed.
okay.
It's not.
They're all real.
But,
okay, just so we know, they're all real.
yeah.
What?
Nothing.
How about this?
Yeah, there you go.
86 for a high today. Our record high is 89, so we're in record high territory-ish. 87 in Hutchinson, 83 in Brainerd. Everywhere you look, it does not look like the second day of October. At this hour, mid-80s for the metro, 86 in St. Cloud, and even when you head to Duluth, 78 degrees. There's a live look outside downtown Minneapolis. Dew point at 57. Look, it's not humid, but there's a tinge of humidity in the air. Well, the humidity is going to crank up. The temperatures are going to crank up, and the wind is also going to crank up. We're talking windy, warm, and hot with possible record high temperatures as we head on into the weekend. Let's talk about that and keep the horror stories off to the side. I'll see you here in about 9 minutes. I'm just going to go get in the fetal position.
Okay, yeah, we don't want you getting scared.
Somebody needs to jump out and scare him tonight. All right, we want to get to our top stories here on our news at 5 o'clock. Many of the state's leading medical doctors are calling on the Minnesota legislature to pass gun safety laws after the mass shooting at Annunciation Church. Their demands come as state lawmakers cannot agree on a legislative agenda for a special session the governor wants to hold on gun laws. Tim Blott's joining us now. And Tim, this is an emotional topic for so many people,
Sure is.
but some of the doctors say that this is very personal for them as well.
Absolutely, because so many of these doctors, at least 2 of them, treated the young victims of the Annunciation shootings from 2 months ago. Now, the doctors, they gathered at the state capitol this afternoon demanding that legislative action that you were just talking about. And one of them was Dr. Tim Coomer from HCMC. He was the first doctor on the scene at Annunciation.
I saw the horror in the eyes of these children. I saw the fear of parents desperate to know if their child was alive. And I heard the screams of mothers and fathers when they were told their child had been murdered. Those memories do not fade.
In the whirlwind of August 27th, there are a few things that remain vibrant and crystal clear in my brain. They're what still wake me up at 3 a.m. The looks of absolute terror on the faces of the children we received in a wave, in shock and bleeding, without their parents to comfort them. And then the second wave of terrified, panicked parents not knowing if their child was even there or had survived.
Now, the doctors have 4 demands of state lawmakers. The first is a statewide ban on assault weapons. The second, a statewide ban on high-capacity magazines. Number 3, a requirement for firearms to be stored, locked, and unloaded and separate from ammunition. And the fourth is the removal of the prohibition on cities to enact stricter firearms regulations than the state. Now, Democrats have proposed several of these initiatives, but Republicans, they want to solely focus on mental health and school safety. Governor Tim Walz today spoke about the impasse with Republicans.
Very, very frustrating, because right now they want to talk about everything other than guns. We're still working it. Still working it. So we're still working it.
Yeah, there you hear the governor say they're still trying to get something done here. Getting back to the doctors, they say this is very much a public health issue, and it needs to be treated like a public health issue. Kelsey?
All right. Thanks, Tim, from our newsroom tonight. Now, meantime, students at Annunciation have been getting back to school. They have made some cards for Pope Leo XIV and Archbishop Bernard Hebda. Hand-delivered them this week. The students thanking the Pope for praying for them after the deadly mass shooting during their first week of school.
Oh, really sweet. It's day 2 of the government shutdown, and for a lot of farmers, it's coming at just about the worst time. This is during harvest season. U.S. Department of Agriculture offices are among the hardest hit in Minnesota. Fox 9's Corin Hoggard spoke with farmers and the state budget director. He joins us now live from the state capitol. So, Corin, the impact of this shutdown hasn't showed up immediately for everybody.
Now, Simone, it's kind of coming in waves here, and it really depends on how close you are to the federal government. For example, there are about 18,000 federal workers in the state of Minnesota. We don't know exactly how many of them have been furloughed, but the plans came from each individual department. Most of those workers are in the VA and in the USDA, the Department of Agriculture, and the USDA said it was going to furlough about half of its employees, including most of the employees at the Farm Services Agency and Rural Development. So I went over to those offices today and checked on them. They're both closed, and that is very bad news for farmers, especially right now as harvest season kicks in for a lot of them. And the reason is that Farm Services Agency actually helps them make sure they get paid. It helps make sure they get loans so they can make it into the next season. I actually talked to a couple of soybean farmers who said it's a double whammy because, you know, the trade wars are keeping them from being able to sell their crop to China, and then there's nobody at FSA to talk to make sure they can make it into next season.
It's like the domino effect. Also, Corin, the USDA administers some pretty significant programs for Minnesota families. This is including SNAP and WIC. We know so many families depend on this financially. Are they at risk of losing that assistance?
Yeah, not quite yet, but maybe soon. So the state budget director there says that SNAP and WIC have enough funding here still in the state to last probably through October.
Our current analysis is that a lapse in federal funds will have minimal impact on federally funded state activities in the short term. Most state programs have funding remaining from previous funding authorizations, but what we know is that the longer a shutdown lasts, the greater the impact to state programs and services.
And that probably includes Head Start and veterans benefits potentially being threatened if the shutdown lasts for quite some time. But again, it's already impacting some of those folks in the ag world. And so coming up at 6, I talked to a farmer who was literally harvesting her crop while she talked to me about the impact on her and fellow farmers.
Yeah, people feeling it already, and so many people might be feeling it soon as well. Corin Hoggard reporting live tonight. Thank you, Corin.
Well, we have an update now to a story that we've been following for weeks following the revocation of the Minnesota DFL's endorsement of his campaign for Minneapolis mayor. A court rules State Senator Omar Fateh and his campaign did break the law. The campaign attached a Minnesota DFL endorsement logo to their website and materials like yard signs even after the party revoked that endorsement. The DFL originally endorsed State Senator Fateh for mayor in July, but rescinded its endorsement a month later over concerns about the voting process. The Fateh campaign has been fined $500.
Well, police are searching for a motive after a deadly shooting in Barron County, Wisconsin. Police received a call of shots fired at a home on Wednesday night. They found one man dead, a woman injured, and the suspected shooter. The woman was taken to the hospital, but her condition remains unknown. Police say the suspected shooter was found with what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was also taken to a hospital where his condition is unknown. All right, time now to get a check of your forecast. It is feeling like today's just a nice pool, beach, lake day, whatever.
It's great for July.
It's warm.
Yeah, it is warm out there though. If you're not ready for it, if you're trying to put on a sweater, Just go back inside, take that sweater off.
To which I would say, whose forecast are you watching?
I know, but it's the fall thing. You want to start wearing the fall clothing.
You have on your Russ.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Can I cut the sleeves off?
Or are those the zip-off kind?
Yes, I do.
So you can put it back on. Like
No, you're right, though. I think when we get to October, there is this function of your brain. It's like, by the way, it's October. It's sweaters and hoodies now, okay? So no more messing around. Then you walk outside and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
It was warm today. Look, right now we're just a degree off our max. We maxed out at 86. We're at 85 degrees. And I know that doesn't exactly jibe with everything that's going on in your mind, considering it's October the 2nd. There's Halloween displays everywhere, and you want to order a pumpkin spice latte. 85 degrees with a wind out of the south. Now, that wind, in one way or another, is going to stay out of the south over the next couple of days, ushering in another shot of very warm air. Important to note, though, as we head toward the weekend, the wind is going to pick up in a big way. Look, second summer sizzle, it's not October, it's Ogtober. Record high temperatures possible tomorrow into the day on Saturday. And as we get through Sunday with some big time wins for the Twin Cities Marathon, we'll also talk about a definitive October change in the forecast that for some folks might feel like a bit of a cool slap in the face.
Oh.
Maybe the hoodie will come out after all.
Oh, it's coming out next week. I've got this really cool one. It's got writing in the hood.
Oh, can't wait to see it.
You put your earbuds in, you'll look like a teenager.
Oh, yeah, and it slides.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll look like a teenager for sure.
Never know.
See you in a few minutes.
Thanks, Ian. All right, well, in West St. Paul, the police department has a new member, and his journey to joining the force was anything but ordinary.
Yeah, we'll meet Rocky, the therapy dog, coming up. Plus, we'll take you over to London, where the Vikings are preparing to face the Browns. We'll show you what it takes to feed an entire NFL team overseas. That's coming up next at 5. But first, here's a look at your drive times.